What's there to talk about this week? Is there anything? Is there some Magic news? Sports news?
I know the Magic-wise, I know people are posting about the Avalanche Riders that doesn't target randomly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that like gigantic bug that kills Lotus Field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty fast and loose there.
Well, I think Rosewater posted that the plan was to make it so that there was a way to kill Lotus Field.
Okay.
Look, I'm just communicating what I read.
All right, so to back up.
Okay. I guess I should read the card. So let me start there. Because I have seen, I like that I call it a bug. Okay. Krenkos Buzzcrusher. 2/RR 4/4 artifact creature insect thopter. Flying trample. When Krenkos Buzzcrusher enters the battlefield, for each player, destroy up to one non-basic land that player controls. For each land destroyed this way, its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Go ahead.
So it's just not how the rules work. And so if a creature had like a trigger based on dealing combat damage, and then you made something else that just said, yeah, a creature that's unblocked doesn't deal combat damage. So that's not really how the rules work. Like, ideally, what you do is that you have a series of mechanics and core functionality for the game engine.
Okay.
And then you just write the cards as they function.
Okay.
Because you don't want people to have to be in the habit of reading the cards, trying to find the ones that are randomly templated as to not be accommodated in the rules.
Yeah, okay.
So if you had a card that was like, a different example. You have some card with Indestructible.
Okay.
Run rampant. You do something about it.
Okay.
You made a card that said, yeah, when this enters the battlefield, put target permanent in the opponent's graveyard.
Sure. Okay.
So it's like, first of all, that's not how the rules work. You're destroying it. So you're just describing the act of destroying something without using the word destroy to circumvent the rules.
Sure.
And that example, as funny as it is actually not as bad as this.
Okay.
Because you would go, oh, this is really weird. What is this all about?
Okay.
There's got to be some reason that this is like templated so bizarrely. Why wouldn't they just say destroy?
Yep.
The text is so different that it notifies you that there's something going on.
Yeah.
This is, you just have to notice that the word target isn't there.
Yeah, destroy up to one.
Right. It looks like it could be a typo.
Yeah. I mean,
like it just looked like it could be missing a word, right?
Yeah.
So I really just don't think you're supposed to make the cards not work in the rules for one discrete interaction. Or I shouldn't say not work in the rules, because the card works, but it is I don't even know exactly how to describe this. So is the word destroy just trying to convey, like is the word destroy trying to convey that this is the way we describe this action? Or is the word destroy a tag and you just choose to reference it or not? I don't work
in the grammar department.
It's the first thing.
Okay.
That's we're describing the act that's occurring.
Yeah.
The act that's occurring here is targeting.
Okay.
If the card was written like, this effect ignores Shroud.
Okay.
I'm on board.
Okay.
I think it's still a little bit hokey.
Yeah, sure.
I assume that's just like it can't be accommodated in the rules because the trigger can't go on the stack in the first place.
Okay.
But if it was written out like this ignores Shroud, I would say, okay, that's a little like whatever.
Okay.
But just to make cards not like templated the way they function to interact with one card, it's like not even legal in standard. Like what is the decision process here that leads to something like this?
So I agree with everything that you're saying. Here's the thing that stood out to me when I read this, because I didn't put it together initially. I think Sam Black tweeted an image of the 2 cards together.
Yes.
And then I was like, I don't get it. And then I was like, oh, I get it. It's a way to kill Lotus Field. Okay, cool. And I was like, why is this thing a fucking 4/4 flyer?
Oh,
why is this just the biggest creature on Earth? Also,
I can't speak to any of that. And 4 mana is probably the line where I would guess the process is 4 mana is on the line, is the line where it's like, it's not just nonsense against them. You kind of have to mean it to get to 4 mana.
Okay.
If it's any less than that, it's, this is just happening all the time.
Yeah.
Puts more pressure than to combo out in 1 turn, arguably plays worse.
So I'm fine with it being 4 mana. Why is, like, so
because it's got to be good enough to play.
Yeah, like you do your Lotus Field thing, right? And then I blow it up and it's like, cool, you're dead in 2 turns.
It's not enough. It's not enough to just make the card not work, right?
Yeah.
It has to be good enough to play. You have to put a spotlight on it.
Yeah. So now it's like, okay, I went through the work of like getting my Lotus Field together, and anyone who's playing Lotus Field isn't trying to play like an honest game of Magic. Okay, sure. It's like, all right, buzz, kill this. Also, you better rebuild real fast.
Yeah.
Or you're going to die. And I've probably done some other stuff too, because like it's a red card. So I've probably played like a 2-drop and a 3-drop, and it's like, okay, blow up your Lotus Field, attack you for 5. The game is over.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know. It couldn't have been a 3/3.
Well, then I wouldn't be good enough to play.
Yeah. It couldn't be a 3/3. I'm not saying it should be a 2/2. Maybe it could be like a 3/2 flyer, something that dies with shock. Like, I don't know. This thing's gigantic. It is an artifact creature, so it dies to artifact removal. But like, this is the kind of card that's big enough that you could main deck it. And then in some matchups, it kills Lotus Field. In some matchups, it's just like, what's up? I have a 4/4 flyer.
I know that I'm not doing a very good job of expressing this because it's so wild to me that I don't even really know where to begin.
Okay.
So back 15 years ago, I want to say. So WoW TCG, we had Untargetable. It was Shroud, not hexproof.
Okay.
And a lot of the cards were just very good. They were just overrate creatures that had it, and a lot of decks were built around these creatures.
Okay.
And someone said, like, what do we need to do? We need to answer this stuff. We need to make cards that are good against it.
Okay.
And Danny Mandel suggested, well, what if we just made cards that say choose something?
Okay.
Like choose an enemy and deal 2 damage to it.
Okay.
So circumventing Untargetable that way. And it was like, first of all, that's not how the rules work. And we don't template cards like that to circumvent the foundational elements of the rules and how people sort of cognitively process the baseline interactions.
Okay.
And then second, I'll tell you what's going to happen in a year or 2 if we do this shit. Someone's going to have unchoosable in a file. and I'm not going to be here for that. And that was the end
I'm out of here.